This is Josiah Plays Dungeons and Dragons. This is the Shattered Crown campaign with DM Scito, a 5th edition Dark Sun campaign. With me are my fellow players Nox and Tim, and our DM, Scito Optionum. I'm ready.
Alright, have you done the intro?
I've introed.
Okay. So, the three of you are right now standing right outside the gates to Tyr. You just have prevented a riot from spiraling into a violent confrontation and are now setting forth to the Tarn. Sirshu, who is currently beside you, Josiah, is looking very pleased by this decision of yours to head to the Tarn. Hopefully they'll be able to reveal a bit more about this. And she sort of motions to the strange ethereal link that binds the two of you.
Would be good to know what's going on.
Yes. So, are you sure we can't take the wagon, though? Wouldn't that be faster?
Why would that be faster?
Well, I imagine you can't move as fast as a Crodlu, or have I misunderstood something?
Depends on what the terrain is.
From what little I've been able to glean from the books that you showed me, the area outside Tyr is relatively flat for the most part, so assuming that the directions that we received for this Tarn is correct, it should be mostly a pleasant journey through this.
Kinda looks like it's in the mountains to me.
Yes, except for the last stretch of it, as in Tarn, a mountain lake. Right, so what are you all doing?
Oh, I think we're just heading off towards the Tarn.
Alright,
kind of-
so...
What kind of provisions
Yeah.
are we taking with us? Just whatever each of us has on us?
I guess. I mean, that's what you guys have said. You said that you stored some items at the Kanken cart, but...
I stored the large tent that I had. Other than that, I guess I'm bringing everything.
Alright.
I've got 40 pounds of water. And 6 days of rations. What about you guys?
20 pounds of water, 10 days of rations.
26 and 11.
So we should be fine if we're just going to the Tarn and back.
I would hope so.
Yeah, that should be plenty, unless we get teleported somewhere, of course.
Far on the other end of some trackless wasteland.
Oh, when has that ever happened except that once?
Exactly.
I mean, there's nothing to say you were teleported, though. It may be that you just ended up going out there. I mean, those were clearly very well-traveled reaches.
Oh yes, the most well-traveled.
Oh yeah, well I did have a bookmark in the middle of fucking nowhere chapter of my Rick Steves Guide to Southern Athos.
Alright. So, the three of you set out on foot. The region, I imagine you're moving at just a standard pace.
I'd say the standardest of paces.
I'd say so, yeah.
Alright. Let me just make sure what that is. And traveling on foot. Okay. So,
Yeah.
As you travel through the area outside Tyr, you pass by numerous nondescript uh, small villages, as well as uh, hamlets and solitary homes. This is fairly standard for the areas outside of the city state. This is where they get the majority of their food, and you find that the people, as you go through them, generally speaking, aren't terribly welcoming. You pass hour by dusty hour moving through these scrublands without any sort of offer of help or support. In fact, it seems like people are actively trying to sort of encourage you to move along.
Do these people actually have crops growing?
Yes, there are some crops growing. There are some crops growing. Just basic grains, various other specialty plants that are native to Athos, that sort of thing.
Well, see, why these people aren't refugees. I don't know what these crybaby refugees are on about. These people are just casually farming right here.
Anyways, let me see. So let's say, and do any of you do anything special during this time while you're moving through this area?
Not me.
No, yeah, nothing specific.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, if we're walking through inhabited places, I don't think we'd really stop to look around if we're not particularly welcome.
All right. Then I'll say you basically about 6 hours pass, and you've 6 hours and a bit. So now it's about 8:30 at night. And you've now come to the steps of basically the mountain range, the Ring Mountains, that surround Tyr. It's up these mountains that you must travel. The land no longer is gentle scrubland with dirt road or anything like that. Instead, you deal with vast walls of basically just impassable terrain. Though there are carved paths through the mountains, as well as certain areas which are just gentle enough a slope to walk up. So, do you continue or what? And also, have you all consumed your rations for the day?
I'll go ahead and mark that down now.
Same.
All right, and your water. Remembering that Jomo and Sinclair both have some water of theirs, which is actually a water broy mixture, which they actually have to consume more of to fulfill their day's requirement.
Alright, so if I drink 5 pounds of the water broy mixture, that's good for today, right?
Right.
Which will leave me only 6 more pounds of that.
Actually, it'll leave you 11 more pounds of that.
Last time you told me I had 11 left.
I don't believe all these things I had marked down, so
Okay.
And I'll have 4 pounds of water, so that'll bring me down to 16.
yep. And all of you consuming your rations?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, down to 9.
All right. So, after a quick meal and drinking water, you come to a decision. Do you wish to climb these mountains now to try and reach the tarn, or do you wish to wait here for the night?
What time of day is
You've
it?
It's about 8:30 at night. These last miles will be difficult terrain, so it will take you twice as long. Um, and so, yeah, basically you have to decide if you want to try and, because that will push you a little bit beyond what a standard walking day would be.
No, I think it's probably best just to camp here and then head up in the morning.
I'd agree with that.
Sound
Alright.
good.
Are you sure? I mean, the mountains are right there. We could head up them.
Go
I mean,
ahead.
is it... She glares at you and falls silent. Fine. Bipeds. Anyways. So, do you look for... So what are you doing? Tell me what you're doing to camp out. Are you looking for any place special? What's happening?
Just some place that looks safe.
Okay.
Yeah, probably something like up among the rocks kind of thing, like an overhang maybe, or something like that.
Alright. Does anyone want to make any checks, or do you just want to trust in your passive ability?
I'll make a survival check to try to survive.
Alright. Yeah, you're able to find a area amongst the rocks which is relatively shielded from... That's relatively shielded. It is getting quite cold, however, right now, so... at this point, the fact that you don't have your you don't have your tent is unfortunate, but you at least have your sleeping bag or blankets and whatnot.
Yeah, I have a bedroll and 2 extra blankets.
And a towel. An extra large towel.
I don't have the towel. Who has the towel?
I mean, you bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the towel. I persuaded for the towel, but I don't have.
I thought
Did you... I guess you left it back at the Kanken cart.
Sinclair bought it.
No, I'm pretty sure it was you who bought the towel.
Yeah, I thought so too. I didn't mark it down at all.
Okay, I guess the towel must have been left at the Kanken cart then.
I guess.
Alright. So, how long do you guys want to sleep for? Do you want to just sleep until morning, or do you wish to sleep 8 hours? What's your choice here?
Well, I think we should do rotating watches. Who wants to take what?
I'll take the middle watch.
Torin would take the first watch.
Sounds good.
You know, you could have that familiar of yours take watch instead. I'm just saying.
That's true. That's true. Fenris could do.
Can Fenris see in the dark?
He's quite the adventuring sort, but nah, he's not that good with the dark. I mean, granted, he did find me, my greatest prize, the ceramic button, but still.
He got good ears, though, right?
Yeah, I'd say he's got pretty good ears.
General
Alright,
shrugs.
so what do you want to do?
Yeah, if it was encouraged, Corin would have Fenris look out for the night.
Alright. So the three of you settle down as Fenris begins to take his post stalwartly. And again, how long do you want to sleep to? Do you want to sleep 8 hours or until morning?
Well, we're settling down at about
8:30. It's about 8:30 right now, so you
Well,
can
either
go
way,
ahead.
I want it to be light when we start up the track. So
Yeah, I'm thinking probably like around sunrise, I'd imagine, whenever sunrise would be.
yeah. So,
So around 6 o'clock then. Alright. The three of you then take to rest. Sirshu is still complaining that you are continuing on, but she eventually gives way and disappears back into the ether. And you all go to sleep. And time passes. And okay. All right. Time passes, and it's approximately morning. As soon as the first light, you can feel it warming your forms, begins to hit you. You can hear Sirshu going, "Come on, wake up! Wake up! Come on! It's time we get going."
what's wrong with you?
I would think you'd be more interested in discovering exactly how you perform the miraculous being raised from the dead, and well as my personage being tied to yours.
Are you a spirit?
I'm not sure what I am.
But you don't get older, right?
As far as I'm aware, I don't know if I
So you're
get
probably
older.
gonna live forever. So what the hurry then?
Well, you get older, and I'm tied to you, and as far as that is concerned, as such, I do have a vested interest in time here.
We'll get there when we get there.
All right. Is anyone else doing anything?
I'm just very carefully packing up my gear from last night. I mean, I just want to make sure everything is in exactly the right spot. I'll probably have to do it twice, 3 times, just to be sure.
I'm super casually eating breakfast. I'm chewing each bite many times.
Sirshu is looking at you with a great deal of irritation in her eyes. You just love trolling Sirshu.
Cannot confirm nor deny. But can
Anyways.
confirm.
All right. What about you, Corwin?
Yeah, I imagine if they're doing that, Corbin would probably just kind of, stretch and sort of relax and bond with Fenris a bit, play a little bit of cribbage with him. And it's pretty much.
Okay.
You know, Corwin, that is the kind of sunrise that deserves to be immortalized on canvas, if you ask me.
You might have a point there.
You got time, I got to do my morning prayers.
All right, you sure? I mean, you got a point with the sunrise over the mountains there, and the way the light kind of streaks over. I could see something.
All right. Saoirse is just sort of looking at each of you, just her mouth open, as like she's going, "What to each of you."
I'm gonna ignore her and summon forth the flame and begin my ritualistic prayers of the morning. Make sure I do them extra thorough.
Okay. So, Corwin, are you painting?
Corbin will begin a painting of Desert Rat looking across the outcropping onto the Great Plains. Therefore,
Okay. All right. It's not one of your better pieces. It's It takes you about. I'm gonna assume this is a quicker piece that you're doing.
I imagine that's probably why he rolled low, is that he was probably like a little mentally distracted, like, all right, I need to be, ready when they go kind of thing. So he kind of, I guess, maybe made it more of a sketch than a full-blown painting kind of.
All right. So I'll say it takes you about half an hour to do that. And yeah, it's not one of your better pieces. You've definitely done a more skillful work, but it's serviceable. Make a perception check.
All of us?
Sure. Jomo, are you gonna do a perception check, or are you just gonna continue praying? Okay. Yeah. Jomo, you sort of, as Corwin is packing up his supplies, you're the first one to notice it. You notice that in the area that Corwin was painting, there's actually 3 what look like almost like rocks sitting in the ground that weren't there before.
I'll point them out to the others. You guys see those rocks before?
No, I definitely didn't. I would have noticed them when I was doing my sketch.
But they do look just like regular rocks, right?
You'd have to get a closer look at them.
Alright, I'm gonna get my spear and shield out and then approach cautiously.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll head over there with him.
Alright, getting closer, you realize that these rocks, they look a bit like they actually have some sort of green, like almost like green veins running along them. And do an investigation check. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Other than the green veins, they look a lot like rock, as far as you can tell.
I'm gonna poke at one of them.
All right. You do so, and as you do, your spear it hits against it, and you feel the skin of this rock actually seems to give way a little bit, and otherwise it just doesn't move.
Something not right here.
Uh,
I'm gonna do a
You got-
nature check on this.
Sure, you can go ahead and. All right. Sinclair, in your travels, you've believed that you've heard of this. These might be rock cactuses. Um, Apparently, they're almost like how should I put it? They're almost like urchins in a way. They're said to be able to move slowly throughout the desert. Um, Other than that, however, they're a good source of water. There is one other thing about them, though, which you just can't remember.
So yeah, these are rock cactus. They, if I remember right, they're a good source of water. There's something obvious that I'm forgetting.
Are they poisonous or something?
If only we had someone that could cast a spell to identify.
Let them be identified by the flame. I'm gonna cast produce flame and throw it. I'm gonna back up away from him a little bit, and then cast a produce flame on one of them.
Okay. You do so, and the second that you do so, there's this hissing noise, and all of a sudden, spikes shoot out from the cactus.
Did you say
And-
lights?
Spikes.
Oh, spikes.
Long spines shoot out from the cactus, raising it off the ground, in fact, and actually causing it to hop a bit in the air. This is what you believe that you may have forgotten, Sinclair, that when they're disturbed, they basically shoot out spines that can penetrate the hands or whatever of unwary travelers or predators.
Maybe we just leave them alone.
Yeah, I think so.
Might be a good idea.
All right. You decide to leave them alone. One of them is still burning, however. The other two, though, are just sort of sitting there, inert. So you're now facing the mountain. Your shoe is still sitting, hanging back, looking at all of you, glaring. As you're at the very base of this mountain range. Now, how do you want to climb this or attempt this? Do you want to try to do this normally? Do you want to try and do it slowly?
You said there's like a path that goes up, right?
Yes, there's some paths that go up, but you have to. But which path is the correct one, you're uncertain of because you only have a general idea of where the tarn is. You don't have an exact map.
Well, you know, thanks to my Hermit tarot card, I have advantage on checks relating to finding pathways in untraveled areas.
Well, I guess that could be useful.
So can I use survival or perception?
Sure, survival would work.
I'm also going to guide myself with the power of the flame. Oh, that's actually a good one for once. So 20.
All right. Based on the description of the area that was given to you by Ben and the general nature of the mountain that you're facing, you reason that one of the paths before you was the correct way up rather than trying to travel up the slope. So it's still going to be hard going, however, as these paths are not man-made, they're natural paths that have sort of crumbled as the rock has split and moved over the years. So
Just go slow and careful.
Yeah, Corin will nod and kind of look at the rocks and kind of survey like an easy way up, following along with people.
okay. Do you want to do a check or anything, or do you just want to?
Are we actually climbing at the moment?
It's basically like the ground beneath you is gravelly, and so you're sort of climbing over. There's some areas which are just basically straight buttresses, but others which are gravel, where the earth is gravelly. So it's a sort of mixture of climbing and scrabbling.
Yeah, just moving carefully, trying to look for little places where solid rock is jutting out, or plants or something, things you could grab onto or use as footholds.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All of you make an athletics check.
Would acrobatics work here?
I would say athletics would be more appropriate. Ooh.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and attune bestial form, so I get my advantage.
Making shit up.
Okay. So, Corwin, you several times as you're climbing up, you keep falling back, and the rest of the group has to basically wait for you to catch back up to them, which slows down your progress a little bit. So, this continues for about 4 hours.
And also seeing, how he's kind of slipping back and such. If so, in places he'd try to telekinetically push things out of the way that would kind of look slippery, shall we say, or precarious.
All right. Yeah, but it's still slow going, all things considered.
Good
So
thing we're
about-
so not in a hurry.
Yeah. So about 4 hours have passed now, and you're relatively certain that you're close by, that you're getting close to where the tarn must be. Before you, a fork has opened up in this sort of path, as well as an incline that sort of moves up and out of this path that you've been traveling. So yeah, survival checks if you wish to try and determine which is the right way to go. And again, Jomo will have advantage.
I'm going to try to determine and also guide myself. Let the flame guide me. 28.
Okay. Yeah. So at this point, Jomo, you think that it actually would be a better idea to climb up over the incline, that you would be able to make better time to the tarn. Given that you're fairly certain that these paths would, instead more level out and wouldn't bring you up to the elevation that you think you need to be at.
Does this look like something we can free climb and we don't need equipment or anything?
You don't need equipment, but again, it's going to be fairly rough climbing. It's the terrain is, at this point, I'll say it's still just difficult terrain. So, yeah.
We should climb up here.
All right.
All right, lead the way.
If you say so.
So you continue to scrabble over this.
I'm gonna give
over-
guidance to Corwin
All right. All right.
for the climbing. Wow, it's good guidance day.
Corwin also has a grappling hook and rope. If he would be able to kind of see something, like if it's something that would be grappleable in this situation to get over.
Okay. I would say at this point it wouldn't really help necessarily so much. I mean, you
Okay.
you could try. You know what? No, you can try. So I'll say, how do I want to do this? Make a attack roll with your dexterity modifier, and that will basically determine whether or not the grappling hook is going to help you or not. Okay. I'll say that you basically throw it forward and it just hits the ground and scrapes back down without finding any purchase.
Okay.
You know all about not finding any purchase.
That's right. You need that critical success for a purchase.
So as you continue climbing the mountains, you notice that it's getting very, very quiet. There doesn't appear to be much movement up here. The small amounts of plants and whatnot that you've seen have basically faded away. You do have a fairly good view, though, of the area of Tyr and the city of Tyr and the surrounding area, however.
Good stop to admire the view.
Yeah, that's a nice vista there.
So you continue climbing. Another 2 hours pass. And you finally reach the area where you believe the tarn should be. However, when you reach the top of this latest outcropping that you've been scaling, there's nothing there.
What do you mean there's nothing there?
There's no body of water or anything that could be described as a tarn. There's just flat rock. It's basically just a plateau here.
We're sure this is the right place that Ven had said?
This is the place on the map.
Well,
Well,
Searshoe appears
Oh, go
beside
ahead.
you. Well, take a look around, or one sec. Let me take a look. And Searshoe is going to do that. 1 second.
While she does that, Corwin would like to ritual paint detect magic to see if he can sense any sort of druidic magic in the air.
So, alright, alright, go ahead, you can do that. You do detect that there does appear to be something nearby. Searshoe, however, is unable to find anything as she takes a look around.
I want to guide myself again and try just really looking carefully with my perception. See if I notice anything out of the ordinary.
Alright.
All 4s on guidance today. What the hell?
Nice.
Thanks, guidance. Wow.
Guidance is going nuts.
Guidance has been blessed.
Okay. Taking a look around, you see what appears to be a small. You didn't see it initially, but it actually appears there's a small cleft in the rock ahead that, if you were to sort of scrunch yourselves up, you could move through.
You see that there? Little spot between rocks. Maybe we go through there.
That might be a good idea. I can kind of feel a little bit of druidic magic, but I can't quite get a sense of where it's coming from.
All right.
You want Jomo to scout ahead? Jomo very sneaky. Or should we all just go?
Scout might be a good idea. Why don't you just see if it's worth us all squeezing through that little place?
Alright, I'm gonna stealthily approach.
All right.
Another 4 on guidance. What is
Wow.
this shit? This is unheard of. This is like 6 times in a row. So 30 stealth.
Okay. So you're able to stealthily approach this cleft. And as you're about to enter it, you realize that there's a figure standing right by the cleft, sort of moved himself within the rock. He doesn't appear to have noticed you yet, however.
What does the figure look like?
He's basically dressed in furs and leather. He has a number of tattoos on his body, as well as charms and bracelets hanging off him, and he carries a spear.
Alright, I'm gonna try to make sure I'm like in a hidden position where he doesn't really have line of sight to me. Even if that means I don't have line of sight to him, that's fine. And then I'm gonna call out.
Okay. You do so, and you're suddenly answered with a gruff, "Who is there? Who goes there?"
This is Jomo, priest of the flame. We come seeking druids of Tarn. We mean no harm.
So say many who come to this sacred place. What proof do you offer that you are not defilers or some other who would despoil this land?
Wait, you really get a lot of people showing up here claiming to be Jomo, priest of the flame?
Your sharp tongue does you no credit.
Jomo is protector of land. Speak with the spirits.
So at this point, he sort of has moved out from the rock, and he's now basically looking at two of you. And Jomo, at this point, are you still hiding?
Well, if he's moved out, and if Corwin or Sinclair have moved up and are in view, then I'll move out and be in view also.
Yeah, I'm not sure how close we are to this at the moment.
Yeah, I guess I assumed we were kind of right there, and he was moving forward into the thing when he noticed the guy.
Yeah, I don't know how much distance we're dealing with.
All right, so Jomo, you are about 10 feet away. The rest of you are about 20 feet away from this guy. Then state your purpose.
So yeah, I'll move out and I'll be unarmed as I do. I mean, my weapons will still be on me, but not in my hands.
Okay.
I look around for Seer. Is she around?
Searshoe is right by you, yeah.
There is a spirit, some kind of spirit with me. Can you see her?
I can see no spirit. This does not mean that one is not there, however. Spirits can disguise themselves and hide in the land. However, so too can other beings, such as fiends.
Well, this spirit seems to be something of the elements, and is tied to me somehow. We came here to seek your wisdom. Maybe find out what this spirit is.
Alright. He sort of takes a step back and he strokes his beard. I am uncertain. You two, do you aid him in this? He points at Orwin and Sinclair.
Yes,
That
that
we
we
do.
do.
Alright, Jomo, make a persuasion check.
Oh yeah, that's my shit. Minus... Oh, it's not minus, it's just 0. That's actually not bad.
Yeah. I am uncertain. Gershun, what are you doing? Another voice comes from behind the man standing in front of you. Out comes a woman who looks like she's just in her late 20s. Again, dressed similarly, although she has less in the way of tattoos and the like. I apologize for Gershun's rudeness, travelers. How may I assist you?
I'll just repeat what I just said again.
Yes, we seek information about supernatural phenomenon dealing with spirits.
The spirits are the true force of Athos. You see, the elementals and the primordials that exist, they are the true beings that rule over this world. As a druid of this land, I would be more than willing to lend aid. My name is Lorena of Laxa, and it is my pleasure to meet you. This is Gershun. Gershun grunts at this. I am the keeper of the sacred tarn. If you will come with me, I can lead you all to it, provided you all promise that you will enact no harm against it.
Of course.
Certainly.
Yes, I do swear.
Alright, so she takes you, again, Gershun just sort of stands there while she watches you all, sort of eyeing you all very carefully. In particular, you, Corwin. As you move in behind her through this cleft in the rock. As soon as all three of you are in the cleft, Gershun comes in from behind. So, as you move through the cleft, you sort of have to wiggle-waggle your way past the rocks as it's not super wide. However, you're... Yeah, okay, what? Yeah, there we go. Although I bet Josiah meant hashtag, not at.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button. At Wiggle Waggle. Apparently it's somebody's Twitter handle.
Anyways, and as soon as you filter out through the other side, you agree with the sight of a of a small lake right out here in the middle of the mountain. Around it are growing some small plants, ferns and the like, as well as one tree that appears to have grown in the shade of a rock that's overhanging the area. All of you feel this sense as soon as you enter of strange forces are being at work. Almost as if you were being examined and tested.
I'm gonna make a nature check and see if I glean any insights about anything that's going on here. I don't like my chances though, because... Yep!
There we go. All those
All right.
fours, gotta be a 1.
All right. So, Jomo, you think that at this point, that, how should I put it? You feel at this point that the spirits of this grove are actually, they are inviting you. In fact, they are actively inviting you to go into the tarn. You're weary after a long trek, and they're actually inviting you, enticing you, if you will, to jump into the tarn.
Alright, so Jomo will start walking toward the water while he's kind of like hopping as he's pulling off his boots. The spirits invite us to the water!
Lorena's, or stop, wait, what do you mean? And meanwhile, Thirshu is floating nearby and saying, wait, what, no, they're not. But neither of them was expecting this, and Thirshu is incorporeal, and Lorena is, by this point, out of reach. So do you jump in the water?
Well, I'll look at them curiously. You cannot feel it. They want us to unburden ourselves, enjoy the cool water. I don't know if it's cool, but
The spirits...
This is not what happens with guests here.
No, this is not what happens with guests, and... Quiet! Stay away from the water! I told you we cannot be so trusting of outsiders here, Lorena.
Yeah, Jomo, better come back.
Just relax here. He was just a little confused. Now, what exactly is this place, and what's going on here?
This is our grove, the sacred tarn. I have kept watch over this place for many years. Gershon, many more still.
I mean, grove is kind of a generous term. There's one tree.
Does Jomo look skeptical or anything upon saying that?
No, Joma doesn't say that, but I will put my boots back on.
Sirshu is just sort of shaking her head slowly from side to side.
Did not mean disrespect, but Joma still think the spirits want us to go in water. But if you say no, they won't for now. Or ever, if you don't want us to. You're in charge.
Yes, we are in charge. Lorena sort of raises her hand and makes a lowering motion towards Gershon. Now calm yourself. Oh, is this truly how you believe Shrasa would wish us to behave in front of guests, even if they act somewhat strangely? So, travelers, what is it exactly that you seek?
And then don't suppose you can see the spirit standing here, can you? So I point at where Seer is.
Lorena looks over and she attempts to squint. But in the end, she shakes her head and goes, "No, I am afraid I cannot see the spirit that you claim is there."
Well, you see, we come seeking knowledge about it. We're able to see it as well, and we hear that the certain nature of it is, we've heard a term reference to it that we don't exactly know what it means, but we've heard that it could be something called prismatic, if you happen to know what that might be.
Prismatic? Lorena takes a step back and sort of rubs her chin. I have this term. It seems familiar to me, but I do not recall precisely. Still, this intrigues me, in particular you. So, what is your name? And she points at you, Jomo.
Jomo. Jomo
You-
died and then came back to life with this spirit attached to me somehow.
The spirits of this place, they react strangely to you. Almost as if... I'm not certain, but... they seem to be interacting with you in a way that seems most unusual, even for a cleric. Come. Take a seat here by the tarn. Gershon looks over. Do not jump in the tarn.
Alright, let's sit down.
Lorena lowers herself next to you. When I came to this tarn, I was merely a child. But the spirits here, and Shrasa, the last keeper, they were able to heal my body and soul. There's great power here. And with this power, I believe we may be able to find out exactly what is the nature of your affliction, what the spirit of yours is. Gershon, as she says that she spent this time with Shrasa, sort of grumbles a little bit and looks askance. Now, what I will attempt to do is I will attempt to use the tarn as a focus. And in doing so, we will attempt to use the spirits to see exactly what it is that is creating this strange aberration with the elements around you. Gershon, please come aid me. Gershon again sort of grumbles but moves closer. Sirshu is just sort of watching, her eyes wide with anticipation. O spirits of the grove, come forth. Those who keep the sacred tarn in their trust, come forth. Unveil the path of this being. Show us what exactly is behind it. Show us what lies neath the exterior and what ties it to the land. Gershon is sort of mumbling an incantation under his breath. As they are doing this, Jomo, you start getting this sort of prickly sensation all over your skin. almost a bit like static electricity. And the tarn itself seems to almost be moving. The water, while up until this point was completely still, actually now seems to have a small movements in it, as if there's undulations coming from beneath it. Spirits, tell us the fate of this one. What is it that binds him? Wrought and unwrought. And as she says this, suddenly her eyes shoot open, and the waters begin to begin undulating much more violently. A wind seems to have picked up in the area. There is something happening here. You two. I fear that we may need more sources for this connection. There's something here, something powerful at work.
More sources?
Yes. Is there any way that you can affect the elemental energy?
Are you trying to augment it, or are you trying to curtain it, or exactly affect it in what way?
There is something deep within this man. Something very strange, and before I attempt to achieve such a connection, I would have it such that the powers of the Tarn are contained and stabilized. Such a connection could be very dangerous otherwise to those who are involved. Your friend could come to harm.
So what is it that you need us to do?
Just sit by, and again, if there is any way you can affect the elemental energies of the land, please attempt to do so. So, Sinclair and Corwin, both of you know that you can sort of touch elemental energies. I mean, again, it's not your forte, but both psionics as well as arcane magic have the ability to sort of affect things. So I would say that both of you could make nature checks here to see if you can assist with the ritual. Okay. Yeah, not so much. Uh, both of you attempt to, using your own specific abilities, aid in this, but something about this is forcing you back in a way. As you attempt to sort of guide these energies that are beginning to flow into Jomo, uh, you're forced back suddenly because it seems like there's a greater reverberation coming not from the Tarn, but coming from Jomo himself.
Would Corwin be able to use his absorb elements magic to kind of act as sort of a lightning rod for this?
You could
assist in that?
I would say, yeah, you could do so, but doing so would basically reveal to them that you are a spellcaster.
That's true. That is true.
So it's your choice. Again, the undulations of the water continue to pick up speed, and Lorena is beginning to look a bit worried. If there's anything that you can do to help, please.
Well, I could try to cast guidance on her.
Well, okay, sure.
The flame can give you advice. Watch, now I roll the 1. Another 4!
No.
This is... What are the odds of this?
I don't need... Well, again, that's 0.25 to the what power? How many times have you rolled a 4 now?
Like
5.
6 or 7 times. Maybe not 6 or 7, I don't know.
Okay, let's just say it's 5, so that
6. It is 6.
Okay, 6. So, yeah, so the chances of that happening are approximately 0.02% chance of that occurring. Or, wait. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Nice.
It's not likely. It's not likely. Right. Spirits, please, reveal to us. Speak to us. And she attempts to make a connection. What's going to happen? Ooh. So, Jomo, you are suddenly struck with this vision. In it, a shadowy figure is flitting about in the distance as if in a storm, while the beating of many wings is heard. This figure lies well out of your reach. Looking down at yourself, your own form is uncertain. The edges are scattering in the wind. The edges will seem to also coalesce at points and flux as if burning. What do you do?
Just wait and see what happens.
Nothing seems to be happening, but you feel a sense of something building up, as if a great energy is rushing forth from you. The figure continues to move up ahead, and you begin to wonder if the winds are blowing the figure about, or if the figure itself is moving the wind.
Well, if I feel like part of this is some of this energy is flame related, I guess I'm gonna try to use control flames to just sort of keep it from, kind of try to keep it contained as best I can.
All right. You attempt to do so, and your form begins to sort of stabilize around the edges, but there's still this great outflow from you, and it seems like the very air is filling up with particles from yourself. You begin to also feel a deep reverberation moving through you.
I don't understand what's happening. Strange things. What should I do?
There's no answer from anyone. You're alone in this vision.
Oh, I see.
Aside from this figure moving off in the distance.
Hey, Limestoner, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah, it's Dark Sun game. I love Dark Sun. It's my favorite setting. I feel like rather than trying to contain myself, I'm actually going to try to surrender to it and let myself flow outward into these elemental energies and become one with it.
All right. You do so, and suddenly the air around you begins to take on this deep red hue. The sound of earth beginning to crack and crumble beneath you is heard, and then, becoming unbearably loud, is the sound of shattering crystal, filling your senses. It becomes unbearable as you attempt to block out these sensations. They continue to fill you. What do you
No,
do?
I think he's alive, Limestoner. I think the only one that's dead is Kalak. I don't know.
Do we have any sense of this outside of the vision, like at distress or anything like that? Like big distress?
Okay, well, I will tell you what's going on outside there. While Jomo is in this fugue state, something has gone horribly wrong, as he seems to be basically on fire. Albeit the fire seems to be continuously changing its colors and patterns. Lorena is attempting to control it the best she can as she shouts to you, "The Tarn is destabilizing! Something has gone wrong! Please, you must stop! Your friend, he has done something!"
Oops. Manu, is that one of Rajat's champions?
Does Corwin get the sense that it's grave danger?
Yes, you get the sense that there is something very wrong here.
All right. Corwin will summon Fenris, and he will say, "Oh, great Fenris, the great spiritual desert rat, we must help our friend here." And Corwin's going to say, to hell with hiding himself, and he's going to begin attempting to absorb those elements, and he's also going to try to prestidigitate the flames away.
All right.
Hermione, yeah.
As you do so, both Gershu and Lorena look up at you for a second as they immediately sense what the arcane energies begin flowing out. But rather than attempt to act against you, they turn their attention back to Jomo. He is destabilizing the Tarn still. Your friend is helping, but I cannot reach him. Please, you must break your friend out of this. Jomo, you are meanwhile continuing to feel like you are being pulled apart in every direction.
Yeah, I haven't read that one.
Sinclair, do you think you can somehow reach him telepathically at all?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. And Scito, I will go ahead and try and just see if I can't reach him that way.
All right. I guess make an insight check. Ooh, not good. You attempt to reach into Jomo's mind, but you're immediately blown back. You get this feedback, basically, of this vast energy that is moving forth from Jomo. You get the sense that it's not the Tarn that is the source of all this energy, it's Jomo himself who is actually overloading the Tarn, basically.
Corwin will take a deep breath. Corwin will draw a card. Corwin will begin to sing a Balakan lullaby. Cloclero patha menin klech narun 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 hasino jina tiranach narun naran narun. And he's going to focus on Jomo, and he's going to levy.
He's going to what?
Levy nap time upon him. He's going to try to put him to sleep.
All right. Well, Jomo has unfortunately more. I'll say that you get the sense you're able to calm Jomo down somewhat, but again, the energies flowing forth from him are so great that now the Tarn actually seems to be bubbling.
So within this, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Within this vision, I feel like Jomo doesn't really have the intellectual resources to understand what's going on or anything, but I think he just wants to rely on his wisdom and maybe just try to, use his insight to see if he can get any kind of an idea of what's going on or what he can do.
Okay. Go ahead. Try and use your insight.
Not great.
Yeah. You're not really certain what you could do at this point. The figure continues to move about in the distance. Again, it almost looks like a fractal now in the way that it's moving amongst all this of all these particles blowing off of you.
Does
The
the figure
sound...
look like Seer?
No, it's still... You can't really make out the figure beyond this vague shape, but it doesn't appear to be Searshoe.
Alright, I'm gonna try to approach it if I can move.
Okay. As you do so, you feel a great pulse of energy moving forward. And as you sort of try and move yourself closer, it seems like you're getting pulled back, forced away from this being. And as you reach out, trying to move your hand closer and closer, the entire world breaks in front of you. And you realize that your hand is now on Lorena's face as a gout of flame of this, flame-like energy moves out and hits her completely,
Oh my God.
completely covering her in flame as she is blown backwards.
Can Corwin try to interrupt that with absorb elements in any way?
Sure, you can try.
It's literally just a reaction. Would I need to roll anything specific for that?
No, just so as she is blown backwards, you immediately sort of throw yourself in a way in front of metaphorically, you throw yourself in front of this energy, and again, you feel this immense power that sort of beats against you. Although, unlike Lorena, who again was blown clear of Jomo, you feel a strange reverberation, almost as if there was something sympathetic in you to Jomo. Gershon is looking on in utter horror as he says, "Stop! Stop! What have you done?" And moves over to Lorena. Jomo, you are standing there as the last flickers of this colorful flame burns away from you.
So I'm no longer in the vision?
No, you're no longer in the vision.
So does it look like she was burned? Or...
You'll have to get closer. She's right now sort of in a prone position. Her face is covered.
Jomo not understand what's going on. Is she okay? Jomo can help her.
Lorena. Gershon is standing over her, kneeling over her. Are you alright? You are able to hear a weak moaning coming from Lorena as she sort of moves herself to the side, and you see that she has been badly burned by whatever it was that came out of you.
Alright, I'm not going to approach her, but I will call out a healing word from where I am.
Okay. You attempt to do so, but it feels as if your powers right now have been sort of interrupted. You're not quite able to take hold of them right now and use them. The elemental forces that you wield aren't obeying your command for the moment.
The spirits do not listen to me. I'm gonna look at Seer. What is going on? Does Seer look normal?
Searshoe is looking at you with a look of almost as if she was in great pain. What did you do? Something. What was that?
You will not know. I'm gonna look at Corwin and Sinclair, like, I expect them to explain something to me.
I don't know what I can say here, but when I was trying to block some of that fire you were spitting, I don't know, it just didn't seem to really hurt me as much, almost as if there was some similitude that just sort of prevented that. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything at the moment, but...
Gershon, meanwhile, is looking around wildly. You three, quickly, please help me take her to the tarn. We need to both stabilize the tarn and her.
Yeah, I'll move in to help him.
Me too.
All right. With all three of you,
likewise.
With all three of you, it doesn't take much effort. She's pretty willowy, all things considered. And you're able to sort of lower her onto the edge of the tarn. As she sort of lies there, Gershon begins to hold his hands out and begin chanting as the tarn still continues to undulate. Spirits. Calm yourselves, please. Take peace. And as he does so, the tarn is slowly beginning to calm itself down, looking less and less violent as it was before. You three, just go. Did you not hear me? I said go!
Will she be alright?
I do not know. And I do not think that I did not know your work, spellcaster.
You were begging for my help. I didn't want to give it, but I don't think there was a choice.
This should not have happened. It makes no sense. Just leave.
You will not understand. You will not do anything. Not on purpose. But want to help.
Lorena sort of groans, stop. She raises her hand weakly. Jomo. There's something inside of you. Something dangerous. You must seek another. You must seek the wild seer, Jomo.
Who dat?
You must find them. And she sort of begins to fade once again and slips into unconsciousness as the waters begin to start broiling again. Didn't you hear me? Leave! I need to stabilize the tarn and prevent this damage that you've done from going any further.
I'll look at Sinclair and Corwin and say, Dromo think we're doing more harm here than good. We should leave.
Yeah. Seems that way.
I'm forced to agree. And Corwin will look at him and go, for what it's worth, we're sorry. We meant no harm.
He doesn't respond. You all begin to make your way back through the cleft in the rock out into the open plateau, and behind you, you can still sort of hear and feel this sense. How should I put it? You can still sort of hear this ringing in your ears and feel this sort of electricity emanating from that place. The tarn, which seems to have been almost completely overloaded by the elemental energy that was flowing through it. And all you've been left with is a name now. The Wild Seer.
Does Corwin possibly recognize that name in any way, arcane or anything?
You could make a history check. Yeah, you don't really know anyone named the Wild Seer. That name hasn't really ever come up for you.
Okay.
See you later, Limestoner. Have a good one.
Searshoe, is at this point, she's simply saying, I think I need to rest. That was exhausting. And she sort of vanishes back into Jomo.
It's been a wonderful morning. Well, I guess I'm lucky. At least they didn't turn me into a tree or something.
That's always a good sign, yeah?
How are you feeling after all that, Jomo?
Jomo feel very strange. The spirits not listening to Jomo. Not talking. Jomo don't understand what's going on.
I will say that at this point, Jomo, though, you are starting to, as you move away from the tarn, you begin to feel more and more in control of your sort of faculties and your powers again. You can feel your connection to the elements is sort of restabilizing itself.
Alright, do I feel like I'm hurt, or do either of them look like they're hurt at all?
No, none of you look like you're hurt. I mean, I'll say that you feel very tired, Jomo, but other than that, no physical harm seems to have befallen you.
Jomo feel tired. What about you? I'm gonna look at Seer. What happened to you during all that?
She's already faded back into you. She said that she
gone.
was, yeah. So you are now left on a mountain with probably more questions than when you initially came here.
Yeah.
So what do you do? I mean, you could always try and run back and see if you can jump in the tarn again.
It's true.
That sounds like a great idea.
Nox can run in there and just start defiling.
Great.
Tim can crush that dude's will.
Plenty of options. I'm going to suggest that we head back down off this mountain, though.
Are you able to get down off the mountain, or do you need a rest?
Maybe just a little rest. Then we go down. What time of day is it now?
It is right now about 1:30 in the afternoon.
How long did the climb take coming up?
The climb took about the climb took about 6 hours. So do you want to try and make your way back down? Should be easier getting down than it was going up.
I'm thinking maybe we walk a little ways away from here and possibly take a rest before we actually start going down off this thing.
Alright, well, the plateau isn't that large, so you'll be going onto steep ground if you go much further away from here.
Let's just go down.
Yeah, let's go down.
Okay. So you all begin moving down the mountainside. It's still not the easiest going, but you're all able to find purchase with the rocks as you retrace your steps. And after another 6 hours about, you found yourselves at the bottom of the mountain. It's now about 7:30 at night.
Well, I think we're going to camp again, probably at the same spot that we camped in the morning, right?
Yeah, Corbin would suggest that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Are those weird cacti still there? Maybe
Yes.
we don't camp right. Yeah. Maybe we
yes.
don't
In
camp
fact,
right by them.
there actually appears to be more of them now.
Let's keep our distance from those.
Yeah, maybe down the trail a little bit. Half hour or so, I'd.
All right. So you travel for another. Yeah. So you travel for another 1.5 miles or so. It's there. And it's now about 8 o'clock, and you're well away from the. You're now back into the scrublands, and you're fairly certain you're well away from the rock cacti.
And we're not in and among the people and all that were kind of shooing us along.
No, this is the outskirts of the scrublands, so there's.
Okay, good.
The habitation here isn't that great. Also, not a whole lot of cover, though, from the elements, and again, it's slowly beginning to get colder. I mean, not as cold as being around the desert. Doesn't get that cold in scrublands, but it's still not that comfortable. I'm assuming you're all going to drink and eat your rations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
This will finish up my broy mix.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll drink another 5 of my broy mix.
And so, Sinclair, you should have 9 rations now?
Yep.
Okay. And as you are eating and drinking and everything, do any of you say anything?
That was weird. Jomo not understand what happened.
From what I could kind of tell from what was going on, it was almost like whatever was going on with you was sort of overloading the place.
Jomo had
And the
some
water
kind
was
of vision.
boiling.
The water was boiling. Really. I saw some kind of figure, but could not make out who or what it was. And it's like I was breaking into pieces or something. I don't know what it looked like for you.
It looked like you were on fire. I assumed everything was going according to plan.
I tried kind of blocking what you kind of ended up burning her, and I tried to block that, but I guess it didn't really work that well.
Alright. So, I would take it you all want to bed down for the night?
Yeah.
If Fenris is willing to set watch again.
Yeah, Corwin will have Fenris out, and he'll sort of play, a couple of rounds of gin rummy with Fenris before going to sleep and having Fenris stay watch.
Alright. Again, sleeping until first light?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good.
So again, you sleep, and Jomo, your dreams are very unsteady. You continue to have flashes back to that vision that you were having. And again to the flame that seemed to be emanating off of you. One thing which you do notice is that the flame that was coming off of you resembled the flame that sort of makes up Sirshu, or I should say the energy that makes up Sirshu.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I wonder how we can find out more about the wild seer? Wild sage? Wild what?
I mean, you're sleeping right now, so... But, yeah. So, time passes, and again, first light's around 6 o'clock in the morning as you all begin stirring. This time, Sirshu hasn't appeared to wake you up or anything.
Well, I say that to them once we're awake.
I've been trying to think of, everything that I've heard and everything I've read and all that kind of stuff, but the name just doesn't do anything for me.
Maybe it's something Vin could help us find out, or someone else, or something else, and Tyr might have some clues.
I mean, we could try asking possibly the cleric of the house where we brought you, or we could try asking at the bookshop as well. Maybe someone knows something, but
Yeah. Let's do this other thing first.
I mean, well, we gotta go back into Tyr to get our wagon anyway.
Yeah. That's true.
Alright. So, as you begin setting off, you do note that just a little bit away from camp, a few more of those rock cacti have actually congregated.
Are those things following us?
This is possibly a weird question, but do we get the sense that they've been there and sort of standing guard or like watching over us, or did they just arrive? Or
You want to know if you've been watched over by a
yes,
cactus.
actually, I would mentally sort of ask Fenris that, and kind of bait him to give a nod or a shake of the head or something like, "Hey, have those cacti like been here? You kind of been keeping watch. Have you kind of seen when they appeared?"
Uh, Fenris basically sort of communicates to you that they started appearing in the night, but they didn't seem to be doing anything. They just sort of were rolling their way over by moving out their spines every so often.
So in the middle of the night, meaning they rolled their way over and then they stopped and sort of hovered around us, or, kind of watched from a distance.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
It seems like these things have kind of got our scent. I'm being told here by the Great Desert Rat that they've kind of been hanging around there for a while now.
Look, I feel like I should be able to use animal handling to figure out what's going on with these, and I'll tell you why. Because as we all know, any biologist can tell you, both animals and plants belong to the same domain, the the Eukarya domain. So therefore, they're basically the same.
Okay, that's an interesting thing, except they do not belong to the same kingdom, and one of those kingdoms is Animalia.
Right, but I mean, are we gonna quibble over little things like kingdoms?
They both have more than one cell.
It's a higher taxonomic rank, therefore it should be more relevant.
They're from different city-states.
Okay. I mean, you could try and tame the cactuses if you want to. I mean, I'm not going to stop you if you want to try. If it will do anything, though, that's another.
No, I'm just gonna try to make a nature check, I guess, to see if I can figure anything out. Yeah.
Do either of you sense any sort of an intelligence about these things, or is it more of like an animal?
Sinclair, you would say that you know a bit about the rock cacti, and they're basically unintelligent. They just seek out moisture for the most part.
Yeah, they're plants. They're not smart. It may just be something as simple as that they're sensing the water in our packs, and that's why they seem to be following us.
Freaky stalker plants watching over us while we sleep.
It is a bit weird. It's a bit weird that they just sort of stay there for hours on end, though.
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to guilt you, Jomo, for killing one of their number.
Corbin will kind of think to himself and wonder out loud. I wonder if these things are maybe connected with the druids somehow, if they're their sort of familiars.
Oh, for the element's sake, they're plants. And looking around, you see that Searshoe has reappeared, looking a bit like she's woken up with a hangover.
Corwin will sort of frown and, grumble and go, yeah, of course, because, druids would have nothing to do with plants, heaven forbid.
So you think the druids sent rock cacti, literally balls of spines, to hunt us down?
Doesn't look like they're trying to hunt us, but possibly keep eye on us and make sure we get out of their territory, maybe. Something like that.
Yes, anyways, good to see you all too, and
What happened yesterday? What did you do?
I didn't do anything. It was you who did something. I don't know what it
Momo
is, but
didn't do nothing.
as soon as the energy from that charm began flowing into you, you sent energy back, a great deal of it.
Not on purpose. Something was happening. It has something to do with you. You can't explain nothing?
I'm in, I'm in as much, I'm in the dark as much as you.
Hmm.
Sayashu, what exactly did you experience during that entire episode?
I not sure. It was it was like it was like when I was first coming into being. The same sense of unknowing, of just springing forth. It felt familiar in that sense, I suppose.
Did you feel that throughout the whole thing, or toward the end, or?
My sense of time was somewhat erratic, I should say.
If Corwin has Fenris out, he'll make Fenris kind of chuckle with the erratic.
Oh,
That desert rat never gets by him.
so, what are you going to do about this wild seer business?
We'll look for Wild Seer. Later.
She looks like she's going to argue with you for a moment, but she then seems to think better of it and sort of fades back into you.
Cause things went so well when we went to the last place.
It was a lovely time. I swear I'd give my scrote to get past that Balakan blockade and get to Alteruk. Maybe get some answers.
Yeah, but right now you do indeed have something of a schedule to keep because Ven is expecting you to do his business in Sada.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just go back to Tyr, get our wagon, get some more food, and go to Sada.
Yep.
At this rate, I give even odds that they don't have the city blocked off because the refugees are, attacking it or something.
All right. I'd say so. Would you? Are you all going to move on now? Back to Tyr?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a rather uneventful 6 hours as you trudge back to Tyr and finally make your way back to the city. As you approach the caravan gate, you're greeted with the familiar sight of the refugee camp, and the good news is it seems like things are still relatively calm. You still have people in crowds shouting and whatnot, but it seems like since you've been gone, there hasn't been any gigantic uprising or the like. Now, I think that right now would be a good time to just have a quick break because I need to get something, and so I'd say back in about 5 minutes.
All right.
Is that good with everyone?
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Stick around, stay tuned, don't touch that dial. I will BRB in just a couple minutes. Hashtag super fast. Super fast. It's ice time, ice time, ice time, ice time. Ice time, ice time. Ice time, ice time, ice time, ice time, ice time. It is time for ice. All right, I got some ice. I'm back. And ready to continue, of course. We're waiting now on the others to return. I'm back. I have ice.
Mm.
And diet black cherry soda.
Cola O.
No. It's not Cola, it's black cherry.
Okay.
It's its own flavor. The only reason I got this black cherry soda is because they were completely out of the Diet Cola.
Okay.
And so I decided to try this. And it's fine. It's not bad at all, actually. But it doesn't have any caffeine in it, which is... But, you know... I still have several bottles of Cola O also. So I'm just drinking those only specifically when I want to pick me up from caffeine, and I'm drinking this the rest of the time. I tried to, like, cut back on soda and start drinking a bunch more water instead, like I used to at one point, but it was a no-go. I was like, you know what is better than what I'm doing right now? Drinking soda. I mean, I know it's not good for me, but...
I think orange soda also has caffeine generally.
I do like orange soda.
Like, I know Sunkist has caffeine.
Yeah, a lot of the various flavored sodas out there don't have caffeine. But some do. It's funny, calling it black cherry makes it sound so much more refined than if it was just called diet cherry soda.
Nice.
You'd be like, oh, cherry soda, that sounds way too sweet and...
Yeah.
Oh, but black cherry, oh.
I have heard of white cherry soda before.
I don't even know what a white cherry is.
I don't think I've ever tried. It's one of like those weird Jones soda varieties. They're the ones with like that, that make the mashed potato flavored soda and turkey flavored soda.
That's
oh
gross.
yeah.
What's wrong with these people? Hey, I'm
Yeah,
really
mashed
drinking
potato
water.
soda, turkey flavored soda, potato pancake flavored soda, cranberry sauce flavored soda, which that one's not as bad, but yeah.
I used to rarely drink
Yeah,
anything
they
but
sold a
water.
6-pack that was basically Thanksgiving dinner.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
I think it's for like,
that
people...
sounds way too hipster for me.
No, Cola O is the hipster choice.
Cola O isn't bad.
It's like the PBR of soda.
It used to be. It used to be horrific. Back when I lived with you and I tried Cola O, it was basically like somebody had, taken a big old shit in a vat of acid and then shoved it down my throat. But
it was like Spirit Cleave.
It was seriously, I drank some Cola O and I wake up the next day with an obnoxious spirit bothering me. No, but over the years, they changed their formula significantly, because now the new Cola O is actually palatable. I mean, it's not as good as...
Stockholm Syndrome.
I've just become accustomed to the abuse.
Yep.
Not as good as Coke Zero, but it's significantly cheaper. You're gonna have an energy drink in a minute? What kind of energy drink, Amaranth? I like Monster Ultra ones. They're the 0-calorie monsters. Like Monster Ultra Red is my favorite energy drink.
That was a little bit long. Sorry, it took a little bit longer than I was expecting. Okay. So yeah, you've all arrived back at the city of Tyr. So, what do you want to do?
Enter the city.
Okay. So yeah, you make your way through the caravan gates and right out into Caravan Way. So, where do you want to go from here?
Joe will need to get some more food, and maybe we could top off on water too.
I think that's a good idea.
Where do we go for rations and water? I don't really remember where the go-to spot is for that.
A good place to do that would probably be going to Iron Square and visiting one of the house emporiums, seeing as they basically have everything there.
Let's go there then.
All right.
If you guys want to make any other stops, you can, but as far as Jomo's concerned, he doesn't want to get distracted with any other stuff right now. Although, didn't we just travel all day to get back to Tyr?
It's 6 hours, so it's only 12 o'clock in the... It's, 12 in the afternoon about.
Okay. So, noon, basically.
Yeah.
I'm going to swing by our room at the Kank and Cart and pick up that towel.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll pick up the tent as well. Although I think I left the tent in the back of our wagon, not in the keg cart.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, do you want to go to the so for those of you going to the Emporium, which Emporium do you want to go to? I mean, there's multiple Emporiums.
Which is the one that... Which merchants you friends with?
I know the Waverian merchants are the ones that I frequent with.
Let's go there then.
All right. So you head to House Wavir. And yeah, you can make your purchases now. So anything off of the general goods list.
The general goods list.
Yeah, general price guide.
I'm not seeing that. Where is it?
It's under prices and services.
Oh, I see. I was looking too far down. Okay, so rations should be on here.
Mm-hmm.
$5 silver a piece, it looks like. 5
Well,
slate a piece, it
yeah.
looks like.
Okay. I'm gonna top off my water. I'm just gonna drink all of the rest of that broy mix
Okay.
in the first half of this day, so that I can get it out of my water skins. So that's like, so now I'm down to 24 pounds of actual water,
Yep.
and then I'll buy back up to 40 pounds.
All right.
Which will
Yeah, I'm gonna
cost me-
do. Sorry, but yeah, I'm gonna do something similar. I'm just gonna drink enough
Well,
water for the day,
Okay.
and then buy up to 40 pounds.
Well, you don't have 40 pounds of. You have 28 max.
So a gallon is 8 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Right, I've got 2 very large water skins, 1 standard water skin, and I think 2 large water skins. I believe I can hold 108 pounds of water all said and done.
What?
Yeah, something seems a little bit wrong there. All right.
Yeah, 3 large water skins, 1 standard, and 2 very large.
When did you get all those?
I bought them pretty much right as soon as we got here.
I only have you as having 28 pounds of water capacity. I do not recall you buying all these extra ones.
Well, I mean, if you put them down on your sheet, you must have bought them.
Yeah, I definitely put
Probably
them down on
just
the
sitting
sheet
up.
and subtracted the coin.
All right.
How much does a very large hold?
Well, that's underneath additional supplies.
Oh my god, there's so many handouts.
And a very large water skin can hold 40 pounds of water.
You bought 2 of those?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's good now that we have the wagon. We can carry all that extra water in the wagon.
That's true.
All right. I will change the thing to 100. What was it? 108?
I think so, yep.
Right, and you're filling up on that, so 108 pounds of water.
So I only need to buy 2 gallons of water to fill myself up, I guess, because it's 8 pounds a piece, and I had 24, and I'm buying 16, so that's 2 gallons.
Mm-hmm.
And then some rations.
And Corwin, I assume you're filling back up?
Yeah, Corwin will drink his daily allotment, so he would go down to 8 pounds, and then he'll fill up to 32. So that's
Alright.
6 copper.
We should make a list of what we're going to have on the wagon versus what's actually on us as we're setting out too,
And
right?
that's one of the reasons why I created the storage handout.
The storage handout. Oh,
As
can we edit that?
I will make it so you guys can edit, sure.
Or do you just want to have us tell you and then you can edit it? That's fine too.
I think I can trust you guys with being able to edit it. There. Now everyone can edit it. And I'll make a thing for storage location wagon. Yep. There you go.
If I buy up to 8 rations, that's going to cost me. If I had 4 and I buy up to 8, that's 4. 4 times 5 slate pieces. 2 enamel pieces. Plus 4 ceramic pieces for water.
How much do you think we should bring on this trip of rations?
But now that we have the wagon, now that we got wagon, we should get extra beyond just what we carrying. Let's buy like another 20 days worth just to keep on the wagon. What do you think? Just in case.
Nah, it might not be a bad idea, just as long as the local creatures don't decide that it's a good spot to have a snack.
So if we are going to buy 20 more days worth of rations to have on the wagon, that'll cost us 10. That'll cost us 10 slate or enamel pieces. So do you want to just split that up? I'll pay 4 and you guys can each pay 3.
Sure.
Yeah, that works.
I also bought a few extra for myself. So
Alright,
I'm up to 15 in my
Alright.
personal stash.
And so
Yeah.
how many of these things of water would you be bringing with you personally?
I'm storing the 2 very large water skins with the 80 pounds of water on the cart and keeping the other 28 pounds on me.
Okay. I'm gonna just create a thing for on my file here just for the cart storage. So
You guys might want to move the stuff that you have stored in the Kanken cart to the wagon if you're going to bring it all with us. I put the tent in the wagon.
I moved everything I had stored over.
And then we have that 20 rations we can put in there. I'll put that in.
Yeah, Corwin will store his grappling hook and rope in the wagon, which is 14 pounds.
All right. Yeah. You could just go ahead and edit that. So, see here. All right. And so, how much personally is everyone carrying with themselves now? So, Jomo, how much food are you personally carrying?
I'm personally carrying 8 days' rations and 40 pounds of water.
Okay. Corwin?
32 pounds of water, 12 rations.
All right. And Sinclair.
15 rations and 28 pounds of water.
All right. And I have 20 pounds of food, 20 rations in the cart and 80 pounds of water.
In the cart,
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are well provisioned
Mm-hmm.
for now. Okay, what do we have to get some kind of feed for the Crodlu too, right?
Yeah, but the Crodlu, if you look under the mount the mount equipment, basically you can you can do it by week, so you can feed them, like once a week, that sort of thing, or you can do it per day. It depends.
Okay, so it requires the equivalent of 70 pounds of simple feed per week. 10 pounds per day. So quality feed is considerably more expensive than simple feed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean when it says twice as much nourishment? Does that mean they only need to eat half as much?
Right.
Well, it's only slate. We've got plenty of money. Let's get quality feed for the Crodlu. Which how much of it do you think we should get?
Well, probably at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And be mindful, though, that there is a limit on to how much you can. Your wagon has a 1,000 pound storage capacity, though. The Crawloo can only pull 1,120 pounds. So basically, that means that you have an effective storage capacity on the wagon of. Oh, you have a closed wagon as well, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's actually 400 pounds, so...
I wasn't planning on riding on the wagon. I don't know about you guys.
No, I figured it was just going to be used for our stuff.
Oh,
maybe
no, you
one
can,
person could ride on it.
You can ride on the wagon. You have 720 pounds of things that you could put on the wagon, so you definitely could ride on the wagon.
How fast can the Crodlu go pulling the wagon?
It can go at the same... I'm just simplifying it, and they can just go at the same speed. Now, if you want to go beyond... Now, when it comes to exhaustion, that's where pulling the wagon can come into an issue, or if you want to run or something like that, but...
It says
yeah,
it goes 4 miles per hour. How fast do we go on foot?
3 miles per hour. And the Crodlu can travel for 10 hours rather than 8 without having to worry about exhaustion. This is the most exciting part of any session.
The logistics.
Yep. And that's why I
like
created
this part.
That's why I have, and I imagine, later it will come into more play, the whole email chain thing, so you can handle it outside of the session, a lot of these things.
Yeah, that's true. Like, if nothing's gonna happen. Well, I'm good to go.
Yep, I'm good to go.
Yeah, likewise.
All right.
And we did end up buying the feed, right?
Oh. Actually, no, we didn't buy the feed yet. We decided to buy feed, but we haven't actually paid for it or figured out how much exactly it's going to cost. So if we get like it's 3 SP a day. 10 days would be 30 slate. 10 days would be 3 enamel. Let's just get 20 days worth, which would be 6 enamel, which would be 2 enamel apiece. Does that sound good?
Sold.
Done.
So put 20 days of feed, quality feed, on the wagon.
So 200
as well.
pounds of feed then?
Oh yeah, that's heavy. Yeah, it's okay. Might I put that on there too?
All right. I'd say that you guys are ready to set forth.
Super ready.
So ready.
We have gathered our party.
Mm-hmm. Although now I would say that with everything, no, never mind. You can travel for 2 hours if you want to, so you can make it about 8 miles out of the. Oh, right now, that's right. Now you're on. If you are riding the mount, that means that you don't have to worry about exhaustion from traveling because now it's on the mount's timer. So yeah, you could travel until 10 o'clock tonight without any worries.
How well do
Yeah,
Crodloos see in the dark?
They don't have dark vision or anything. So if you want to stop earlier, that's fine.
What you think? How long you want to go?
I'd like to get at least a few hours away from Tyr and the refugees with this big cart full of supplies.
I think the road was pretty smooth, at least until the fort there, from kind of what I remember.
All right. So, do you want to just travel? Okay, so tell me how long you want to travel for, and we'll.
Well, how far would 10 o'clock be?
That would get you 40 miles away from Tyr. Well, at least along the road. So it won't be like a straight shot 40 miles because the road turns a bit, but
So about like halfway to Fort Scones. Ish.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Then maybe we can make Fort Scones the next day.
Yeah.
All right. And you set off, trundling along in your wagon.
So much trembling.
The Crawloo looks, again, it's, as you leave, what's his name again?
It wasn't Azure.
Oh, the Crodloo's name is To Kick.
Okay. So Takik is still it's still recuperating from its illness, but it's making good time as you travel out, and as you go along the roads, it's more of the same refugees moving down. The further away you get from Tyr, though, the more sparse the number of refugees become. And
Do I have to make animal handling checks or anything?
no,
I want to make sure that there's no problems with the kick, you know, that it's not overburdening it, overexerting itself, or that, you know, I'm basically just taking care of it and making sure it's as healthy as possible.
okay, that's fine. You can make animal handling checks if you want to do that. Okay. Yeah. Good thing it's not with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Tikik is again in. It's still definitely feeling the after effects from its illness, but it's in. Other than that, it's in a pretty good shape, all things considered. It's in much better shape than when you first healed it.
Good.
And after 10 hours of travel, you are about there. Although
So
I'll
we're
say
looking
it's
for
actually
a place
closer
to. Go on.
Yep, to pitch your tent.
Yeah, where we can kind of pull off the road and.
Mm-hmm. So, do you want to just rely on passive skill, or do you want to make a survival check?
I'll make a survival check.
Okay.
I'll try to guide myself. What the fuck?
Okay, this is getting kind of creepy.
This is hacks. Thanks, guidance, for real. Oh no.
Oh. Okay.
Wait, does this constitute finding pathways in untraveled areas? I'm finding a pathway to our camp.
No. This is just finding a camp. So no, sadly, your special trait does not come into play right here. All right. Well, Jomo, you find an area which you think looks pretty good. It seems like it's out of the way, and it's not on hard rock, it's on sand, so you think that it's a lovely place to set up for the night.
Great. This looks good. $6 million to 1. Odds of rolling a 1 on that check? 1 in 20.
Well, at least it's not Send. Send will always have a special place in your heart.
We should
True.
camp in this pile of dung.
Alright. So you pitch your tent, and set up and get ready to sleep for the night. Do you want to do the same thing with,
Yeah,
Fenris?
Fenris will keep watch.
Alright? So you all begin to settle down to rest. And, about 2 hours passes. One of you... Let's see, who will it be? Okay. Sinclair, you wake up in the middle of the night because you get this sensation that something's biting you.
Yeah, I hop up and
All
take
right.
a look and see what's biting me.
It's completely dark out. You can't really see. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
All right, well, I try and light a torch to see what's going on.
All right. You do so, and you have discovered that you have actually set up a camp right on a gigantic ant's nest. You are covered in ants.
All right, well, I yell for them to wake up. We're we're covered in ants.
What's going on? Ants! There shouldn't be any ants here.
There are ants here.
Aunt Doreen's here? Doreen, where are you?
She wants her button back. Get up.
You got ants on you. I'm gonna try to start brushing ants off of.
Okay. And as you do so, you realize these ants are leaving horrible red welts all over your body. These are basically the equivalent to these are basically a Thasian fire ant. Because Athos, everything's horrible. Jomo, you do realize, though, that now all of a sudden those the things that you thought would block the wind, now that makes sense because those were probably gigantic ant mounds that you were sleeping next to. Suddenly, it makes a lot more sense.
This is probably not a good place to camp.
Yeah, you think so? And Corwin will kind of leap up and start brushing ants off of him, and yeah.
I'm gonna check on to Kick and make sure there's no ants bothering.
Do we have all the ants off of us?
Yeah. They're covering the ground, though. I mean, it's absolutely... You picked one of the worst places to camp possible. And in fact, I will... No, you... Where are your backpacks?
I'm sure they're on the wagon, probably.
Yeah, most likely in the wagon.
Okay. Alright, if they're on the wagon, then there's no issue there. Tikik is fine. Unlike you guys, Tikik chose a more sensible location and parked itself well away from the ants.
Where did Fenris go off to?
Fenris is right now just sort of doing different poses. It appears it got a little bit enamored with itself.
Corwin will sort of look around and then see Fenris doing the poses and sort of nod approvingly. That'll be a good shot for later.
I'm gonna produce flame and try to use it to scare the ants away.
In the tent?
Oh, well, no, I'm not in the tent. I got out to check on the...
Okay, alright. So yeah, you light flame, and although you're able to burn away a lot of the ants, they're still basically all crawling all over you. In fact, at this point, I'm going to say that no, I'm not going to say they're doing damage yet. Save that for later.
Like how are we like in the middle of a huge like ant nest, like for yards and yards kind of?
Basically, you set up camp right next to these gigantic ant mounds. You know the one. Have you ever seen the pictures of the ones that are 10 feet high, that sort of thing, and they're streaming down into the tent?
All right, look. He lit a torch, right? So I'm looking at control flames, and I'm just wondering how precise my control over this is. It says I can animate the flames as I like.
Okay, what do you want to do?
And it also says I can instantly extinguish the flames. So, what if I want to move the fire over the tent where the ants are to burn the ants, but keep it from actually burning the tent? Or if the tent starts on fire, then I'll instantly extinguish it with control flames.
I would say it's something you can attempt to do. You're gonna have to make a nature check, though.
Oh my god, nature, really?
Yeah, I mean,
Oof.
well, nature would be the one that would apply most to, or I mean, I guess you could make an Arcana check.
No, let's stick with nature.
Oh no, wait. You know what? You can make a religion check. You can do religion.
I'm feeling nature, really. Religion is also -2. Are you sure this isn't more of a survival thing?
No, this unfortunately it's not. And actually, religion would be the right thing to use here, so that would be the one you'd use as the cleric.
Are these like regular-sized ants or giant ants, or?
They're basically they're the size of black ants to us, so they're, for a fire ant that would be very large, but that's the standard Thasian ant.
Okay.
Guide myself. What?
Okay,
What's the odds now? Now it's eight times in a row. Is my macro broken? It says it's just rolling 1d4.
Well, like 3 times ago, like, back 3, you rolled a 3 on it, so...
Wait, when? Oh, I did roll a 3.
That's true.
Never mind,
Still
then it's not 8 times in a row. It's still 7 times out of 8, though.
Yeah, that is very impressive.
Alright, let's go with this terrible religion check. That's not a natural 1.
I know, but still. Okay. So you're gonna try and do this with the control flames?
Yeah.
Right. You attempt to control the flames of torch, but you almost immediately start the tent on fire.
Alright, I'm just gonna put it out right away.
Okay.
It says I can instantly extinguish it.
Alright.
I'm just gonna start brushing ants off this stupid tent with my hands as I start disassembling it. You know, getting pieces of it, getting the ants off them, putting the pieces on the wagon.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll give him a hand.
Corbin will give him a hand as well by telekinetically grasping the pieces and kind of waving them around in the air to fling the ants off of them and put them in the cart.
Oh, I just remembered something, which since the end of last session, after the whole thing with chasing down everyone and getting the dead set all got you 100 XP each. That I kept forgetting to tell you guys that. So yeah, you've all got another 100 XP.
Okay, so we're at 400.
Yep. Okay, so you're all just hastily packing up. Ants are they're furiously biting you. You have red welts all over your skin. It takes about 15 minutes, but you're able to do so.
I mean, are all these ant bites causing damage?
I'm going to say not at this point. Just extreme irritation to your skin.
But could I still heal them with magical healing?
Yeah, you could do that if you wanted to.
Is everybody all bit up, or is it mostly just
everyone is all
Sinclair?
Bit up?
Well, Corbin would be at the edge of his telekinetic grasp range, if that helps him at all. That's 25 feet.
Yeah, I mean, no, while you guys were sleeping, you all got the shit bit out of you.
Fenris just casually watching us get devoured by ants. I'll bet Fenris didn't get bit. That little fucker.
He's very fond of his aunt.
His
All right.
ant.
So,
Yeah.
with a few ants still covering you and your belongings, I'm imagining you want to ride out of there.
I suppose. I mean, we could maybe just stay here forever, but I think maybe moving on a little bit would be a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
get our stuff, get the ants off,
You're slightly
move the hell away
cinched
from
in.
here.
All right. How far do you want to go?
Till there's no more ants.
Okay. Let's say travel another half hour, so 2 miles away.
Yeah. Looking around carefully to make sure there's no ant hills.
All right. A time when you should have just relied on your passive survival skill. So you've now found a new campsite. There's still the odd ant that is biting at you and coming off the wagon, but other than that, you've managed to escape the ants.
All right. I think I'm just gonna try and sleep in the wagon for the rest of the night.
Okay.
I am gonna heal everybody's wounds of the ant bites.
Okay. And this interrupted your long rest, by the way, so...
Yeah, so
Spells
we'll
and-
have to start the long rest over at this
Yeah.
point, basically.
Yeah.
That went well.
Yeah. Yeah. Good times. Good times. So, you all rest another 8 hours, and when you wake up, it's already well past daybreak. It's about 9:45 in the afternoon. In the morning. None of you are very happy.
Which is basically par for the courses of the day before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just get everything packed up and get moving.
How much?
My way through is forward.
How much stuff did we use for yesterday? A ration and 4 things of water.
Mm-hmm. And are
And
you drawing
also-
from... Let me know if you're drawing from your personal supplies or the cart storage.
I think for yesterday, wasn't that covered in the sort of resupply?
Oh, right, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're fine.
Oh, right. But we did have to feed the Crodlu.
All right, yeah. So just remove off 10 pounds of there. But again, Crodlu, you can go like a week. You can go, actually, some people, you could go weeks without feeding them, and as long as you get them sufficient nutrients, they're fine.
Well, could we have fed the Crodlu a week's worth of food before we even left then? And it would be good for a whole week?
Yeah, I guess you could do that.
Well, then let's do that. That way we're only carrying 130 pounds of feed. It is 7-day weeks, right? Can't
Yeah.
remember if Darkson has weird weeks or not.
Nope, just weird calendar.
Okay. So I guess we set out again today. Sorry
Alright.
about the ants. My mistake.
No, that's okay. We probably shouldn't have stopped so late as it is.
And given what we've been through lately, it's probably the least worst of things.
The
True.
least worst. So yeah, yes. See here. So you guys travel for about, how long would that be? Yeah. So you travel for about 3 hours, down the road when you notice something off in the, well, no longer in the distance, when you notice something approaching you. Well, not, you're coming up on something. And it appears to be a group of people hanging around a wagon. Or a cart, I should say.
What's the difference between a wagon and a cart?
Cart has 2 wheels.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's other various minutia, but that's the major difference. Cart has 2 wheels. Which is why you can actually use it with an Enix, because otherwise the tail gets in the way for wagons.
All right. Well, yeah, let's get a little closer and see what's going on.
Right. As you get closer, are you approaching slowly, or are you coming up on it quickly? What's happening?
Unless anybody else has anything, mine's to just be normal travel pace. Start to slow down when we're, within earshot.
Yeah, maybe we slow the Prodlu down a little bit, and I'll just walk out ahead of it a little bit with my shield and weapon ready.
Okay. As you do so, you can hear the following. All right, just give us all your stuff and you can move on. One of the leader of the group that's accosting the cart seems to be saying, We really don't have much, only some food and clothing. I'm sure you have more than that. Come on now, give it up. The group that seems to be accosted appears to be a mother and 2 other adults.
What are the numbers like on these bandits?
It appears that there are 8 bandits. Or 9 bandits, actually, I should say.
So, as soon as I hear this, I mean, I don't know if we all basically heard it at the same time, but I look back at the other two and say, bandits, get ready.
I get ready.
I'm going to stop the Crodlu and then start walking toward the bandits, leaving the Crodlu back behind me at whatever distance we were.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll join him.
As you do so, one of the bandits seems to notice you and goes over to his and says, "Hey, we got some more coming by." The band leader, gruff fellow, covered in scars and wearing loose-fitting robes, walks out and basically says, "Keep moving. This doesn't concern you lot."
I'm gonna walk right up to the leader. Got something to talk to you about. I'm just gonna keep walking toward him. I'm hoping
All right.
that my friends are following me.
Yeah, Corin's there too.
All right. I'd say you're now within about 20 feet of the bandit, of this bandit leader.
I don't stop. I'm like
Okay.
waving my spear in the air. Got to talk to you! And just keep walking at him.
All right. The bandit leader, he's drawing out his scimitar, and some of the other bandits appear to be readying crossbows. Stop right there. I said just move along.
I keep moving toward him.
Okay. Move one step closer. At this point, you're within about 10 feet, and I'll have my men open fire on you.
I'm just gonna rush him. I'm ready for initiative. I'm rushing him.
Okay, time for initiative. Initiative. So, let me just. So you guys can roll initiative.
There's only one language these people understand.
And have you guys kept pace behind?
Yeah, like when he saw, Jomo was out in front, then he saw Sinclair go out, and Corin's like, all right, and he's kind of following as well, like a little bit behind Sinclair.
Right. I'll just put in your. Oh, and then I get the fun job of putting in all these guys.
They won't be there for long. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Oh, cocky. Even with the HP reduction. And let's get that battle music going. Right. So this will actually be the first time that you guys will be doing combat, and this will be new for me, without a battle map. It will all be theater of the mind.
It's fine with me.
Let's see how well this goes. Let me just...
As I run forward, I yell, "Flame take you all!"
Alright. You know what? I'm just gonna have them all act on... what would you guys prefer? I'll let you decide. Do you want them to all have their own individual initiatives, or just have them all take their on the same turn?
Well, it's kind of hard to do a bunch of initiatives if there's no battle map. It's hard to keep track of all of it in your head of where everybody is. If they all go at once and there's no battle map, it's a little bit easier, but it's completely your choice, really.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just say that everyone else goes. And so how far behind Jomo were the two of you?
I mean, probably maybe 10 feet or so.
I was figuring kind of like 10 feet behind Sinclair, so yeah.
All right. So. So Sinclair, you see Jomo basically yell out his attack and beginning to move in. What do you do? There's one. The nearest bandit is about 25 feet away from you.
I want to focus more on the guys with crossbows. How many of those are we looking at?
4 of them, each one within about 10 feet of the leader. So 25 feet away from you, 30 feet, 40 feet. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a speed of 40. Does that mean with one move action I can make it to one of them?
Yep, you most certainly could.
All right, I will do that. As a bonus action, I will imbue my quarterstaff with a lethal strike psionic. And then I am going to attack this first guy with a crossbow.
Okay. Oh. Damn it. Did forget to do one thing, though, and that is add in their health.
Am I supposed to see anything on the turn order? It came up for me, but it's blank. I mean, I don't know if I'm even supposed to see it.
Oh, no, you should be able to see it. That's weird that you can't.
Yeah, mine's blank as well.
Can you see it now?
Blank.
That's so weird.
I don't know why that would be.
Okay,
I mean, we don't technically have to see it. You're the one that's going to tell us whose turn it is, so...
Alright. I guess that's what we'll do. I'll try and figure it out for the next time. Alright, and let me just... in their damn... Okay. So anyways, yeah. You run up. And so what are you doing?
Attacking him with my quarterstaff.
Alright. Make that attack roll. Okay,
Ooh.
that definitely hits. Alright. And
then there's a bonus damage roll from the psionics.
you don't even need it. Don't even need it. So, what does it look like?
Just as Jomo shouts, hey, for the flame, or whatever it was. Sinclair sprints up to the closest person with a crossbow, sweeps his legs out from under him with the quarterstaff, and continues to spin to connect against the side of his head with a hit as he's falling.
Alright. Jomo. It's your turn.
Wow, okay. I'm charging up. I want to get... I mean, how spread out are these guys from each other?
Most of them... The furthest one away is about 20 feet away from the leader, and these ones are the ones who are closest to the people they were basically raiding.
So if I run right up in front of the leader, will all of them be within 30 feet of me?
Yes.
Great. I run right up in front of the leader, like post up within melee range of the leader, and then I am going to use for the first time ever, my channel divinity, Radiant Flame. I call out, "Let the fire consume you all!" And I lift my spear in the air and summon fire, which shoots out. It only affects hostile creatures within 30 feet of me. They all have to make a con save. DC, I don't know what. DC 14.
DC 14. So let's see if they can make it. Okay, one of them fails. Another fails. Another fails. Another fails. Okay, one of them succeeds. This one is one of the, I say that, the first three represent the archers. So one of the footmen succeeds in his save. Another one of them succeeds. And another one succeeds. And let's see if the bandit leader succeeds. No, he does not. So describe what happens to them.
Alright, so this
Those
white
that
hot
failed.
flame... Oh, I need to hold down my push to talk. This white hot flame erupts from my hand, flows up to the top of my spear, and then shoots out in bolts of radiant hot light. And it strikes all of them, even the ones that succeeded on their save. Some of them are simply burned worse than others.
Okay.
Hold on.
Now, is that an enemies only thing, or should I be rolling a save as well?
Wow, that was a terrible damage roll. The ones that made their save take 4 damage for radiant, and the ones that failed take 8.
All right. Yeah,
So-
so
After putting some fire on everybody... Go ahead, though. What were you going to say?
No. Go ahead. That's
I will use my action surge to take an additional action on my turn.
all right.
And with my additional action, I will simply thrust my spear at the leader.
All right. So make an attack roll. And that hits. So roll damage.
For 10.
Nice.
So he took 8 from the fire and 10 from that, right?
Yep.
And then I'll yell, "Throw down your weapons!" But I'm done. My turn's over.
All right. The others can look a little bit alarmed by this, as well as the family that, well, the group of people that was just being assaulted. But they continue. It appears they're ready to continue their assault. The bandit, the bandit leader decides to attack you, Jomo, and he is going to attack. Yep, he's going to attack you. With his scimitar, his obsidian scimitar first. 16.
That will miss.
And now he's going to attack with his dagger. Oh! Critical miss. And that actually means that we now see if something happens to his dagger because of this critical failure. House rules. Okay. Okay. The dagger basically he comes at you with his obsidian scimitar and his dagger, He swings over, wildly missing as you dodge out of the way. As he brings his dagger down, it just completely misses as well. Corwin, your turn.
Do I get the sense that they've been really distracted by this show of pyrotechnic?
Yeah, that was pretty surprising. They weren't expecting that.
I'm guessing they're all pretty much bunched up around Jomo.
They're not bunched up around him. The leader's out in front. The others are further back.
And they're kind of bunched up around themselves?
Yeah.
Corbin will kind of look and kind of
Noting
maybe...
You're 40 feet away from the leader, and from the center of this group about 50 feet away.
Okay. Yeah, Corbin will kind of sort of crouch down a bit, kind of make himself look a bit less, in presence, so to speak. And Corbin will sort of mutter to himself again, and once again speak the Balakan lullaby. Gloclido Partha Menenclech Narun 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 Hasinojina Tiranach Narun Naran Narun. And he's going to focus upon the group of bandits that's kind of clustered together as they're all reeling from this fire, this geyser of fire.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to put 30 health points of them to sleep.
Oh, boy. All right.
That's their current hit points.
Yeah.
That is their current hit points.
All right, so... how many? Okay.
Wow, nice roll on the sleep.
That was a pretty nice roll, yeah.
That's within 20 feet, so that's basically going to hit every... Oh, my God. All right. So let's see.
Although, it doesn't only target enemies. So
True.
Yeah, but they were away from... They were away. That's why I was asking, like, are they clustered around Jomo? I was like, no, they're back a bit. So they were sort of around them.
Okay, but Jomo will be in the area of effect, as will Sinclair. And
yeah, but it starts with lowest current hit
Yeah.
point, so it's not going to affect us.
no, it doesn't affect you. And what
And
it
it's also
does-
only a 20-foot radius.
I know.
Okay.
So, all of the archers, basically, they just sort of look over and then just sort of slump down to the ground, as well as another 3 of the bandits basically just slump over. One of them is the leader is unaffected, as is the one who is closest to the family. And he's looking... Both of them look fairly alarmed by what you just did.
Corbin will just sort of look wide-eyed, and he's going to kind of pretend to stare at Jomo and be like, wow, he's really... that was really an amazing thing. That was the fire that put people to sleep. That's... Oh, my God.
All right.
Knocks bumping in the middle of combat.
I guess you can do that. Do you really want to try and convince them that that's what happened?
If he can make them pause and, like... The thing with asking, like, are they distracted and such is like, okay, they're just reeling from all this fire, everything going on. They're not going to really notice someone that all of a sudden, hey, these people just fell asleep. Where did that come from? Who knows? We got all this, this big fire guy spewing things around here. Who's going to notice the one who's just kind of, just put him to sleep? It's just the guy in the back that's kind of still walking over toward this thing.
All right, make a deception roll.
Oh!
Nox Bluff success!
Critical
Oh my
Nox
God.
Bluff.
Alright, so these guys, they are looking in from Orwin, and they just look at Jomo, and the leader is looking incredibly alarmed right now. The bandit in the back actually looks like he's about ready to bolt from this situation. He is very, very worried. So the one in the back, however, he will basically grab one of the people that in the back and say, "Stop! Stop! I'll kill him! You come any closer, I'll kill him!"
And whose turn is it?
Oh, actually, wait. How much health do those people have? Right, I hadn't considered that. They have. Oh, okay, so actually, no, they still would have. But that means that more of them are awake than I thought. So, in fact,
How big is this 20-foot sphere, though?
It's 20 feet in every direction.
yeah,
It's a radius, so
actually-
it's actually a 40-foot sphere.
yeah. So
That's true. I mean, I assume he would aim it to, like, not just hit everyone kind of thing.
all right. Well, he takes out all the from the center of the group. He basically, he knocks out all the people, the hostages or whatever. So two of them are still awake. One of the guys is about ready to flee, and he grabs one of the now sleep. Well, this basically wakes him up. One of the sleeping characters and says, "I'll kill him! I'll kill him!" While another one goes, "Shut up, you idiot!" and actually moves over and kicks one of the ones that is prostrate and wakes up the bandit. Although that uses his action. So you've got a hostage situation, and you've got now 4 bandits back on the field. Though that was still pretty impressive. And so it now goes to everyone's turns. And Sinclair, it's your turn.
Okay, so around me, who's awake, who's asleep? What's the layout looking like?
All right. Within about 10 feet of you, there's the band leader who's awake. In about 15 and 10 feet away from you, there's 2 sleeping bandits who are amongst the archers. And a bit further away, there's a couple more sleeping bandits, and the 3 that are now active, although one of them is on the ground, prone.
All right, I'm gonna maneuver to the leader to gain advantage with Jomo if I can.
Okay. Sure, you can do that.
And then I'm gonna take a hit at him.
All right, go ahead. That hits. Ow. All right, so that does 12 bludgeoning damage.
And then as a bonus action, I'll go ahead and take an unarmed strike at his back as well. Oh, but that one's gonna miss. Unless I have combat advantage or whatever.
No,
Why wouldn't he have advantage if he still
that's
has
right. He would
flanking?
have advantage. He still has flanking. That's right. So yep, you have advantage. So yeah, another 8 bludgeoning damage. So you bring the you bring down your quarterstaff on him, and he howls in pain. As then a blow right into his kidneys makes him almost double over. Jomo, it's your turn.
All right, the guy that's got the hostage How badly burned is he? Did he save or not save against my...
He saved.
Alright,
He
so he's
saved.
not very badly burned, in other words. How far away from me is he?
He is about 25 feet.
Okay. Hmm. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and provoke an opportunity attack from the bandit leader then as I run away and run over and charge that guy with the hostage.
Alright. If that hits. Nope.
Mm-mm. So I
Alright.
can attack the hostage guy now with my spear?
You can. I'll say that, because he has a hostage, he has extra AC, and so the way this is going to work is, if you roll below a certain thing, you're going to hit the hostage.
Didn't you say the hostage was laying on the ground from the sleep spell?
Yeah, but he's grabbed him. He's basically yanked them up.
Okay. So what's my chances of hitting the hostage?
Alright, let me just see here. So the bandit's usual AC, 12. This would basically be like getting 3/4 cover, so... What is,
3/4? Really? It's not like it's not a ranged attack. Like, can't I just move
I-
around to the side where the hostage isn't?
Yeah, but I mean, the guy, I'm factoring in the fact that this guy, he's basically about ready to kill the hostage as well. So if you maneuver around like that, he's gonna just kill the hostage.
Okay.
So, let me just see here. Okay. So, yeah. I would say that if you get it below his regular armor class, you're going to hit the hostage. So you're looking at, in terms of missing, if your attack misses, there's a 2/3 chance you're going to hit the hostage.
Okay. I'm feeling good. I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna try to thrust right past the hostage's shoulder and catch this guy in the neck if I can.
Alright.
With inspiration.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm using a point of inspiration.
Alright. Then that hit. That hit.
So I'm down to 2 points of inspiration after that.
Yes, that's right.
I only got him for 6 though.
Yeah, so he's still alive.
I tell him the only way you live is if you let him go now. You can kill that person, but it not save your life.
Alright, the bandit leader, he's gonna turn and face Sinclair now, and he's going to come down on him with his scimitar, just furious at this person who came up behind him. Oh!
Yeah, that's a definite hit.
Yeah. Oh, boy. And that's gonna do...
Now, his weapon might break from that.
True, his weapon might break, and I'm gonna say he's gonna press his advantage on this one, so that's 12 points of damage. And again,
I think it's a 1d3.
no, it's 1d4 if it's
Okay.
if it's a critical success. But yeah, he makes it easily. So he comes down on you, just slashing you with his scimitar.
What a dick.
Right?
And now he's going to come after you again with his dagger. $14. So that I'm
That's
pretty
a
sure.
miss.
All right. His dagger attack though completely whiffs. All right. So the band in the back. Oh, sorry, Corwin, your turn. You get to go.
So how many bandits are up at the moment?
There are currently 4 bandits. Yes, 4 bandits that are up.
And they've kind of clustered around again?
Yeah, they have.
And the one that's holding hostage is still holding hostage?
Yep.
That one's got to be almost dead.
Well, Corwin really only sees one thing he can really do,
Wow.
and that's to continue the lullaby. Somni gravis, somni somnorum, somni gravis, full sleep to this quorum.
All right, 21. So
Nap
let's see.
time.
Yep. So
It says nap time on the little thing under your
does.
damage.
okay. So yeah, the guy holding the hostage, he just immediately passes out, as does the hostage again. At 6 points. 8, 14. So yeah, basically every one of the bandits except for the bandit leader has gone night-night. So now it just swings back around to Sinclair.
All right. Well, I'm wary as hell of this guy now, so I'm gonna use my bonus action to spend a power point to activate dodge,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna attack him with a quarterstaff.
All right. And what does dodge do?
So basically, he's everyone that attacks me for the rest of the round is at disadvantage,
Okay.
and then I have advantage for dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
And then I'll attack this guy.
Nope. So that misses. You
Yep.
come at him with his with your quarterstaff, but he's able to just parry it off to the side. And that's it for you because you use your bonus action, right?
Right. Yep.
Or no, wait. You have as many bonus actions as you. Damn it, Josiah.
You get one bonus action. There's a, regular action, a bonus action, and a move.
Yeah, you can only take one bonus action per round.
Okay. I'm wary of constantly of getting it mixed up with 4E rules again.
That happens to me all the time.
All right. So, Jomo, your turn.
All right.
No, I think bonus action. It's like, I think the bonus action that is 4E that you only get one. Use bonus action, require bonus action reaction or.
Yeah, you only get one bonus because, like, if Corin were to attack with his 2 scimitars, you get one regular action for your attack, and then the bonus action is like the offhand, and that's it. There's nothing else. Like, he can move around, but that's the only other thing he can do.
Look at page 189 of the player's handbook. That's where it's got bonus actions. It says you can only take a bonus action if something gives you a bonus action.
Okay, you can only take one bonus action on your turn, so you must choose which bonus action. Okay, alright, good. Good. Got it settled.
Cool. Alright, well, I guess, fuck this guy, right? So, give you a chance to surrender. I'll move over, and now I'll get into flanking on the other side of him from
Okay.
Sinclair, and give him the old what for with the spear, with the G.
Alright.
Oh gee, I just got stabbed.
Oh, critical hit!
hit!
Now, of course, the question is, do you want to press that because this could break your weapon if you decide to go for the critical damage.
What are the odds of it breaking my weapon?
1 in 4.
And it's the one that causes the break.
Yeah.
I'll take the critical.
All right. So do your damage and then roll a 1d4.
The damage is 13.
So 26 total.
No, that is already modified.
Oh,
when Roll20 already does it for you if you get a crit on one of the rolls like that. Because you actually don't double the plus, you only double the dice. So it basically rolls the dice twice, and then it gives you the normal plus.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Anyway, 1d4, huh?
Yep.
How about a 2?
Okay. Doesn't break.
Yay.
Alright, so you slash along this guy's back, but he's still standing. He's staying in there. He is just not... He's not having it. So, he's going to... As an action, he's going to basically... Right next to him is another one of his bandit allies, and he's going to kick the bandit ally. And...
Aren't they all asleep, besides the leader?
Yeah, but he can wake them up with an action.
The leader himself is doing that. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And so he's going to kick the guy right next to him, and they... Oi! Wake up, you! And the bandit basically has now woken up, although he is prone. Corwin, it's your turn.
Okay. As the bandit is, as the leader's beginning to do this, Corwin's still back a bit. And, he's watching this as he's just calmly just loading a bolt into his crossbow. And by the time the leader has kicked him awake, he's just going to sort of yawn a bit and just extend the hand crossbow and shoot at him.
All right,
and that's at the leader.
Make that attack roll. That hits. 7 piercing.
And I believe I get sneak attack on that.
You do. All right. So you manage to fire a bolt. It strikes this guy right in the neck, but again, the band leader, he's still standing. He's tough. He's not going to be taken down this easily.
This guy has
he's looking
hit points.
Yeah, he's looking incredibly wounded right now. The other bandit that's on the ground, however, is going to now stand up. That takes up his action, and that's about it. He's now standing up and looking around. So now it goes down to Sinclair. Your turn.
Actually, it only
Oh.
takes part of his movement. He should
Oh, it
still
only
have an action.
Oh, okay. So he's going to instead move right behind Sinclair, and he's going to attack Sinclair with advantage.
That'll cancel out with the dodge.
Oh, that remains active?
Yeah, for until my next turn.
Okay. And he's just going to attack with... 20 plus 3. Ooh, completely misses. So he just takes out his short sword, attempts to swing down on Sinclair, but Sinclair just dodges effortlessly out of the way. So Sinclair, your turn now.
All right, this leader's got to die. So, action, I will imbue my staff with psionic energy, and I will attack him.
All right.
With advantage. Or wait,
Well,
which...
he's facing Sinclair, so not with advantage. But that
Right.
still hits. All right, what does it look like?
Is that enough, or is he still up?
He's down. You've done it. So what does it look like?
Okay, so the guy behind me took a swing with the short sword. He dodged out of the way. The staff briefly glows a dull blue as he pauses, taking a look at the leader, and then thrusts the staff right underneath his chin into his Adam's apple.
All right. And with a horrible crunching noise and blood spurting out of his mouth, the leader falls, crumples down to the ground. His mind basically shattered already and dead from the psionic energy. Jomo, it's your turn. There's only one bandit that's still up, and he's right now behind Sinclair.
All right. I'm gonna say, let the flame take you. And I'm just gonna throw a...
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna throw a produce flame at him.
Okay. Now, Sinclair is in the way, so this
Well,
is...
I'll move to have a clear shot first.
Okay. Alright, yeah, you can do that. So, produce flame. Let's see that.
17.
And that hits.
5 fire damage.
And that's enough. What does it look like?
Face the flame! And I throw this. My hand glows with this burning ember of pure fire, which I lift up above my head and then just hurl at him like a baseball. It speeds through the air, strikes him right in the chest, and the flame just spreads up and down his body, searing his flesh with horrific sizzling sounds. And then he probably falls over.
Quite dead. Just like a rock cactus. So,
Just
this
like
point-
a rock cactus. Get cactused.
at this point, you three are now the only ones who are awake. Everyone else is asleep. What do? You now have a choice to make because there are now 6 sleeping bandits.
Oh, there's that many of them that are still asleep?
Yep.
Well, it's not my turn anymore. Or do we even need turns at this point?
You don't need turns at this point. It's basically what horrible things do you want to do to these guys?
Oh, I'm just gonna start slaughtering them. Just straight up murdering them in their sleep.
Okay. Does anyone want to stop or join in?
Neither.
Corwin will kind of look, he'll shrug a bit, and he'll go and retrieve his one crossbow bolt and kind of put it away, and that's it. I mean, they saw him, so it's not really worth the risk.
Okay. Well,
They
All the
knew
ba-
what life they chose. They knew the risks. They earned this.
all the bandits are now dead.
I will go over to make sure that the folks that were in the other cart are okay. Are they asleep as well?
Yes, they are sleeping. They've also experienced sleepy time.
Too bad we're
Look at
not
them.
evil. We could just take all their stuff while they're asleep.
Yeah, damn
We're not going to
alignment.
do that.
And once I make sure they're okay, then yeah, I'll just start searching bandit bodies.
Okay. The bandits don't have terribly much on them. You find the bandits they've dropped about 5 of their short swords are still in good enough condition. The obsidian scimitar is also in good enough condition. 2 of the light crossbows, 15 bolts, and about 4 slate pieces and 37 ceramic pieces in coin in total.
I say we give their stuff to the people they were trying to rob for their trouble. We don't need it.
I agree.
Giving the stuff off slain bandits to people who were trying to be robbed. I remember someone mocking me for this before.
At least we're not going to put these bandits on horses and ride off and let them fall on the
Nice.
ground and get run over by a
That
wagon.
that was entirely your decision to have that happen. You're the one who you're the one who threw him under the wagon.
After I finish killing the bandits, making sure they're all dead, and I'll give the leader a couple extra stabs as well, just to be sure. He seems tough. I'll go over to Sinclair with a burning hand and say, "You want me to take care of that wound?
Please, yeah. That took
It's
me
gonna
quite a
hurt." So I'll lay my burning hand upon him and sear his wound closed with a little cure wounds. Painful, but ultimately therapeutic.
Just without a doctor ordered. So what's that gonna? Okay.
It's only 6 points.
I'll take it.
You want another one?
Yeah, I'm still down 6, so if you got him,
All right, now you're good.
thank you.
All right. And that was the first one without a battle map. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I thought it went pretty smoothly.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, you were the one that was trying to have to keep track of everything in your head, though, so it's harder for you than for us.
No, it's just I'm just worried it didn't feel as thematic or things like that, but you know.
Well, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I usually always prefer the battle maps just because, but I mean, I think this went just fine. The only thing I would say is that maybe, for something like Corwin's sleep spell, it might have enabled him to dial that in a little bit more the way that he would have wanted. But for me, this is perfect.
Yeah, the big problem is finding the battle maps, though. Finding enough battle maps to use.
Yeah, that's
Like,
always a big effort, for sure.
Like, with the amount of combat that will eventually happen, I mean, it kind of makes it a bit of an issue, because then it gets to the point where I'm almost certainly going to have to reuse map.
Well, you can always just use the base grid that comes in Roll20 and just sketch something out real fast on it. As well. Like if it's not going to be a real big important battle or anything.
Yeah, I mean, again, for large important battles, there will be a battle map for those.
Yeah, but for stuff like this, if you have to, I don't mind it a blank battle map, or like Josiah said, even just a couple of scratches here and there for terrain.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
So are the people
the
awake now?
If you've taken the time to wake them up, yeah.
Did you do that, Tim? Did you actually wake him up, or did you just check on him?
I just checked on them, but I imagine them hearing me getting burned alive to heal myself probably would have elicited some shouts that would have awoken them.
Okay, so I'll say that. Well, no. Otherwise, they would wake up in the middle of battle. So you actually have to go wake them up, or you could just vanish off into the desert mysteriously. And
Well, we did
just-
give them the stuff from the bandits. I mean, unless we just loaded it into their wagon.
cart.
Cart, true.
Well, yeah, then let's wake them up.
Oh, what happened? There was a battle, and then I suddenly became so tired. And then I was awoken again and suddenly fell asleep again. What happened?
Yeah,
You-
battles can be crazy places.
Oh, yes, was it, what? Oh, are my children all right? Children, are you okay? Kalb, Haz, are you all right? Mother, I'm fine. Oh, thank you, friends. You saved us, and you've given us bloody weapons and items on our cart.
Yeah, and here are a few coins to help you get to where you're going. You should be able to sell those weapons when you get there. They're in good shape.
They're not really, but
Or you can just throw them down in the sand, whatever you want.
yeah.
Next time you
Very-
get robbed, just show the bandits all those weapons and say, "These belong to the last bandits that tried to rob us."
Thank you. If we are going to Tyr, we have heard it is a good place for refugees to go.
It's not.
What do you mean?
It's overrun with refugees. It's way past its capacity.
Where else could we go then?
You could go to Sada, maybe? That's where we're going.
Oh no, we do not wish to go to Sada. We passed through Sada on our way here. There are bad things happening in that village.
Can you tell us about these things?
We only heard whispers, but they say that there are people going missing in Sada. That the village is disappearing.
That doesn't sound
Disappearing?
good.
The people or the buildings as well?
We only heard the whisperings. We moved through as quickly as we could. I will have to speak with my children, and we will have to decide where we will go.
Well, they got no extra food in Tyr, but if you have money, you can buy food. But if you don't got money, you're gonna starve when you get there.
We have some coin, and with this coin that you've already given us, we should hopefully be able to find something perhaps in Tyr. I fear it may be our only chance regardless.
You could always try going down to Distro, but that's quite a long way to the south from here.
Distra? Where is this?
Oh, far down past the great Luvian wastes there.
Oh, could never make such a long journey. It already took us weeks to get this far.
Here, I'm gonna hand him, whichever, a couple of enamel pieces. Take this too. Make sure you get some food for your kids when you get to Tyr.
Oh, such generosity. Thank you. Thank you. You will be in our prayers. Thank you. So, you just saved some random villagers from bandits. I know how that feels. It's a good feeling.
It's not quite what happened in your case.
One that can quickly be crushed by a DM cruelty. But I'm not that kind of DM. I'm not gonna have them suddenly have head injury. So, with that, I actually am thinking that it might be a good idea to end off for the night. Unless you guys want to keep going.
No, this is a good time.
All right. Now, when is the next time you guys want to? Oh, well, Josiah, maybe you want to take us out first?
Yeah, let me do that. So, okay. If you're watching on YouTube, this episode is now over. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Dungeons & Dragons. This is the Shattered Crown campaign with DM Scito, a 5th edition Dark Sun campaign. We'll see you next time.